not sure if you know this, but Stevenage would be overall your 100th game.
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, right.
In charge of Cheltenham. How's it been so far for you?
Well, for somebody that's had just under 1,000 games, it doesn't really bother me, you know, how many sort of games that there are. If you've had 100 games with a football team, then you've probably done all right. Of course, we had a great season last season, and it was not just historic, it was like unbelievable really that the squad could come up as quickly as we did, and that's still got to be in our club's minds. And now what we've got to do is consolidate at this level. We've got a bit of work to do, we know, and if we do, we can just then keep building. But no, it's 100 games goes quick, by the way. You know, I mean, if you'd have asked me, I wouldn't have known, but 100 games sounds quite a long time, doesn't it? But listen, if you want to quote the 100 games, it'd be nice to say we've had a win on our 100th game, or my 100th game.
Cheers, Gary.
Thanks.
Right.
Gary, well done for reaching the 100 and probably nearly the 1,000. But
it's not far off, I don't think.
You spoke about the potential this team's got, and do you think a lot of the problems that were there at the first half of the season have now been addressed with these new players, you know, young, hungry lads that you brought in, and the replacements and the work you've done?
You've always got that lack of experience and a little bit of naivety with younger players, but you know, someone's going to have to take that on the chin for when they improve, that you've still got them having improved, with them having improved, and I've always been okay doing that, because players, it is a confidence thing, John. It's confidence, and to put them out there, and you know, one day you do have to get into them a little bit, and another day you have to put your arm around them and, you know, cajole them and give them that confidence. So I think we've come a long way from my first game here a couple of seasons ago, and I honestly think we've got some good footballers here that are showing it, not quite enough, but if we'd have got some of the results that we deserved, I think probably we'd be sort of middling the table with the opportunity of maybe a couple of results getting into the playoffs. But it hasn't worked out like that, and we have had our sort of injuries and that. I'm not going to get too into the injuries and everything, because I don't want to use any excuses and give them any excuses. So we'll see. I mean, the proof's in the pudding. At the end of the season, we'll see where we've ended up and how strong we finished the season.
Yeah, just want to ask you about Tin, because he came in just before deadline, and it was, you know, announced he was coming in as cover.
Yeah.
Due to circumstances, he's gone straight into the team.
Yeah.
But the way he's played the last couple of games, have you now got to think about making him a regular staple of the team, or do you think he will go back to City?
Yeah, no, he knows, Bristol City know, and we know the situation. Of course, he's not been over here long, so they want to work with him, and of course that's the right thing to do. Shaughnessy's been out ill for a couple of games. He was on the bench, probably not quite ready physically, but I think he's ready this week. So Tin will be, or could be, we haven't quite decided yet, but you know, he could be the one that loses out this week on the 6 loans. But he knows that, and I, like you say, I thought he'd done okay. Just a little bit of naivety in both penalty boxes, because I thought we could have got a couple for us where he just, you know, flicked off his head. But he's going to be a very, very good player, so it's good that we've got him in the wings for when we need him.
You can certainly see why he's been at some good clubs, because he does seem to have everything, even though he might need to learn those little tricks.
Yeah.
He's got all the
yeah,
attributes, hasn't he?
It's not being used to the amount of headers, even though he's 6'7". You know, you'd have thought he'd been used to heading the ball. It's funny how many big lads, you know, are not brilliant sort of in the air. I think defensively he's very good in the air, as far as in general play. It's just a little bit of naivety when people block him or things like that. You know, he's just got to learn. I'm not sure it happened when he played at Schalke, and there certainly wasn't 100 balls being, bashed down his throat. But I agree with you. I think he's done okay, and he's a good signing for us to have ready.
Just finally, Gary, the captain's armband. Downs has had it, Parslow's had it, Storers has it, Wrighty's had it, and Pell's had it. If Pell doesn't make it with his vision, I mean they're all out probably. So or Wrighty might play, but have you got someone in line to take the armband if Pell doesn't make it?
I haven't thought about that, mate. No, we got to pick the team first. see who's fit, see who can play, and then you generally take the most experience out of that. There's a few captain materials. I mean, Will Boyle is a sort of captain's material, if you like, and you've got obviously Wrighty if he plays, Pelly if he plays. So you've got Brownie at the back, if as far as experience is concerned. When you pick a captain, you've got to pick a captain that can help other people in their game, but don't forsake their game. You got to lead by example, and then you can talk to people how you want. If you're not doing it, you can't have a go at someone else who's not doing it. So, I'd rather him lead by example than say, "Come on, lads, let's get a result." If you know what I mean.
Cheers, Gary.
No problem.